Johnny is in place. Still got to work on this one. But one of the first things upon the purchase of this was whenever you turn it on, you would get factory settings restored. And what is the number one culprit for that? Batteries. So we're going to take these batteries out, see if this can be cleaned up and still used. Hopefully we don't have a lot of alcohol damage to where we can no longer use this. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, we've got the batteries out, and it looks like we've only got damage on this middle one right here. All the other ones look nice and clean. Now, how we're going to clean this up is by using a very, what's the word I'm looking for? A weak acid. So we're going to be using some vinegar, and I'm even going to have this a little bit diluted as well. Now, people think and want to call this battery acid damage. No, the thing is, battery alkali is actually a base. So this is actually base damage. So to neutralize this, we need to introduce an acid. So I'm going to give this a vinegar bath and let it soak for a little bit, and then I'll be using just a brush right here to see if we can get it all cleaned up. Alright, so let's get over look on the current condition of this machine. Now this is a pretty dirty machine. Upon going over it while I was playing it, there was a couple of things that I know are going to need to be fixed. Like, I was wondering why this wasn't working all the way, and there's a spring broken down there for that coil. The glove 100% works. Took everything over here, this dumped out, gave me multi-ball the way it needed to, so that was a plus. There's not a lot of major wear around the holes right here, the out hole. The plastics look to be in pretty good shape. I'm not seeing any major breakage or damage or anything like that. It's just really dirty right now. So overall, I'd say this machine was kept in, pretty good conditions for a long time. It's just pretty dirty. And we're going to see if we can rectify that. I'm not seeing any wear on the playfield as of right now. I'm seeing a lot of ball trails. But I'm thinking this should clean up pretty nice. Let's take a look underneath. Alright, we've got her up. Now, the first thing was the left flipper wasn't working, and that's why that's not working. I want to say I may have that piece that we need right there, because this all is intact. It's all good. It's just it's missing the rod right there. So I think I may have spares to get this thing to where I can actually fully play it. But right flipper worked just fine. The slingshots, I believe these all functioned. Well, they're going to need a cleaning, obviously. I think a lot of this is just going to need to be going through and cleaning. When it comes to this game, like up underneath it, it looks pretty bare when it comes to what's going on, because a lot of this game is above the playfield rather than underneath it. Now you've got the VUC and everything down here, and I want to say right here, yeah, that one's got the broken spring on it, so that one's not going to work the way it should. That one's working and has all the components in it. But I want to say that's looking pretty good. Got all the stuff over here. It's looking pretty good. Now, yep, there was no keys for this machine, this was already gone out. I didn't have to drill anything. And they didn't have any keys for the back box. And then you turn the machine on and you get notified that the factory settings have been restored. And those of us know that that's a battery issue. Then you start to worry, do we have battery leakage? Is the leakage made a lot of damage to the MPU or anything else that's wrong back there? But you can't get into the back box whenever you're buying a machine. That is a scary thing. But luckily, these were only like finger tight, and I was able to loosen them up and get in there without having to damage the lock or any other part of the machine, which gave me the ability to see that there wasn't a lot of damage back there. Alright. As of right now, that's about as far as I can get on showing this game. I mean, it's able to be turned on. There's no batteries or anything, which that's no big issue, but yeah, let me get that battery board all cleaned up and then we can turn it on. And there you have it, just using a nylon brush with the vinegar bath. Cleaned up pretty good. There you could see like any other kind of damage like rust or any kind of corrosion damage. You're still going to have like some pitting and stuff like that where the damage was at, but we are definitely getting continuity. So this should work just fine. So let's get some batteries in there and get her all hooked up, and then that'll be one less issue that I've got to deal with. All right, batteries are installed. Let's boot her up. Now we're going to get the factory settings restored error because this is the first time it's been booted up with the new batteries. Alright, so let's set the time and date and then we'll reset it. Alright, so now the date and time have been set on free play. Let's boot it up now and see if we still get that error. Nope. Alright, looking good. Let's put some balls in there. Alright. Balls are in here. Let's start a game. But alright, so one thing to note is that these things are like really blown out. These rubbers are like really loose and blown out on both the slingshots.
Shoot the spinner loose.
Like, damn it, scared me. But during the testing process, everything worked.
Assault mode activated. Shoot for the right triangle.
See, the magnet works.
What are you doing?
I'm making a long distance phone call.
And launches out of there. Yep. That is where we are at. Game works. Okay, and this is why I hoard parts. To be able to fix stuff like that. So now I should have 2 fully functioning flippers and be able to play this game. Alright, let's do this. Alright, I turned the machine on and it seems like we've got another issue. So let me show you what we're talking about here. So the game's powered on. And look, it's pulsing. And I turned the machine off. Now, if it was a board issue, turning the power off should have caused this thing to go back out. So this tells me this thing is dirty. Yeah. So let me take this off, get it cleaned up, and see what we get. Under further investigation, I see that the reason why that thing's even shooting is because that switch needed to be adjusted. That switch is all kinds of crooked right there. So it thought that there was a ball. See? Thinks there's a ball there, and it wants to shoot out. But the other issue is that this thing is still dirty, I guess. So I'm gonna have to clean it anyways. But I'm gonna fix that switch right there. Alright, so I've got this cleaned up as well as adjusted. I think it mainly just needed an adjustment more than just a cleaning. I've still got the switch broken because I want to see if this thing still gets stuck. There we go. See, that's what it was trying to do. Alright, back off. So now it no longer gets stuck. Now I can adjust this switch down here, and then hopefully then we should be good to go. Attempted to adjust that switch, bitch snapped right off. I was like, of course, wouldn't have it any other way. Luckily, all I got to do is just replace this top portion right here of the switch with one designed for rollover, and then we should be good to go. I don't know, spoke too soon last time. New switch, nice and clicky, looks to work. Let's boot this sucker up again. See if we have any other issues. Alright, let's see what this error is, if it's the same one I saw earlier. Ball in hand. Okay, well, that's probably something that just hadn't been hit in a while. I don't know, we'll figure it out. That doesn't make any sense though, since we just booted it up. Alright. Let's play some games. After playing one game on here, everything feels like it needs to be tightened up. Things just feel loose, like this lid's loose. I mean, it seemed like whenever it was hitting ramps that things were not in all the way. I don't know. It just feels a little flimsy right now. I don't like the way it feels. Hopefully that will change after get everything taken apart, put back together again. Alright, so finally got parts in. Some of these I'm not going to bother replacing yet. I'm not going to replace the sticker on the spinner. Don't need to. I bought this. Don't know why, but I did. I just need to replace the cam lock for the back box. I have some extra springs right here because I had to replace the one down here on this one. So now that one actually works. It's intact. Before it was not. It was broken off. The other ones on here work. So that was the only one that I had to replace. So I replaced that one. And I replaced my trough switch. Not trough. My shooter lane switch with the appropriate one. So now this should work the way it's supposed to. And yep, that's it for now. Alright, we got the new cam lock in there. Alright, so that comes all the way out. Lock, take the key out. No longer have to worry about that.